All right. I've seen the comments. I've seen you all asking, everyone that has asked about my life story and how I got here. And I'm going to say this is the third time I've tried to record this. A couple times my phone ran out of storage, so it is 10 past 10. But I said I'd get it done today for you guys because that's really what I wanted to get done, to give back to you because you asked, and I'm going to deliver. Because I see the comments and I see that you say that I inspire you, and who am I to let you guys down? Simply because I forgot to delete photos and videos on my phone for enough storage to make this video. So that's my fault, and that's why we're here so late. But with that being said, I'm going to say I do have notes here. I do have my laptop here, and I just want to preface this because I want it to be from the heart, but I also don't want to miss anything, and I don't want to not give you every pain point that I've been through and every problem that I've solved, because that would be an injustice to you. And I really do want this video to be about giving back to you everything that I went through, all the pain, to help you understand me on a deeper level, and to really just to help you going through whatever you're going through right now. So like I said, it will be from the heart, but I will be referencing off this. So yeah, I'm going to start off by saying this will be a bit of a roller coaster of an emotion, because I haven't really unpacked it that much. Like I've wrote down notes and whatnot, but if you're looking for a quick hit of dopamine, this is not the place to get it. This will be raw emotion and everything I went through, all the pain, because I've seen the abuse. I saw the abuse growing up. I saw my mum, she's an alcoholic. I've done the drinking, I've done the drugs. I failed my way out of university. And I've been through my fair amount of pain, but I'm not going to come on here and say my childhood was the worst thing ever, because I know there's people out there, and I know that there's no point in comparing, because there's different levels of pain. There's different levels of what people go through and how it affects them and how it might be affecting you. So I'm not here to compare. I'm here to simply give back, and I'm not asking for any fucking sympathy, because that's the last thing I want. I just want to inspire, and I want positive change. And when I say positive change, the thing you already have in you, I don't actually mean change. I think what you want out of life, you already have within you. You're already capable of achieving it. You just have to unlock it, and you have to get it. And yeah, I've found that out over the past year and a half, and really found that out through reconnecting with shit I did as a child, reconnecting through sport and fitness and getting in shape and that. So yeah, like I said, there's a list of things that going on over here, but it might take a bit for me to unpack. But life has been a fucking bit of a whirlwind. Had the family issues, you know, your typical divorced parents, and I'm sure a lot of you watching this can relate to that in some way. They got divorced when I was 2, and my mum cheated on my dad, unfortunately, so obviously that came with its issues. Obviously I resented my mum for a long time for that, because we didn't have the perfect family, and recently I just realised that nothing's fucking perfect, and so it doesn't matter anyway. They have their story, and they went through what they went through. But obviously that meant that there was step parents involved, and you know, this is where a lot of pain came for me, especially growing up. And I think it did for my sister as well, and my other sisters, because I got 2 sisters. But my mum and my stepmom would just constantly be belittling each other, like constantly attacking each other and putting each other down and blaming each other and saying it was their fault, and it was their fault, and it was her fault. on why they split up. Like, I didn't even find out through my mum or dad that it was who cheated. It was my stepmom that told me, and obviously my dad's not a very open bloke, open at communicating, but you know, it's not great when you hear it from your stepmom, who you already don't have a good relationship with. And so, yeah, them constantly belittling each other, like attacking each other, saying it was their fault, each other's fault. A lesson came from that for me, and it's sort of came to light a lot recently, and it's the fact that the moment you blame someone else for the scenario you're in, it means that you lose control over what you can do about it. And it means you lose that energy that you can put towards something. And I found out a lot about this recently because purely just through going through what I did at university, and I always constantly put the blame on other people, and I always said it was the lecturer's fault, or like when I got done drink driving, I blamed the cop, or I blamed the person that called the cop on me. But in reality, I was just giving them control when it was my fault, and it was my fault. And so one thing that watching them belittle each other and lose control over their emotion, it showed me that that is not how you should be. You should take accountability, and regardless of the scenario, and I know this sounds fucking stupid because there's probably scenarios where you think that it was completely out of your control, but the moment you give away your control, you simply lose your power, and that way you can do nothing about it. And that way, if you blame other people, then you lose your power, and you simply can't help the scenario, and you can't change the situation that you're in. So you may as well take accountability for it, because at the end of the day, it is your fault. One way or another, it is your fault. And I don't want to be a dick, but I'm just coming on here and giving you brutally honest advice that even if it is their fault, you may as well just say it's your fault, so that way you can take control back over your mind and do something about it. But I grew up in Arrowtown, Arrowtown, you might know Queenstown. I know a lot of you are American in New Zealand, so you probably don't know where that is. But it's a small little town. And I loved it there, honestly, when I loved growing up there. Beautiful fucking place. Just gorgeous, super cold in the winter, like -14. But loved growing up there. And then when I was about 9, Mum packed us up and moved us to a new city, and it's called Dunedin, so that's what it'll be referred to. But you know, that hurt, having to restart again and not know why, because Mum always said it was because my stepdad and her were broke and they had to sell and they had to go. And Mum always blames Dad for that, because Mum's always blamed Dad for that because he didn't pay child support. But then obviously Dad, or my stepmom more like, said that my mum stole money from Dad. So again, a lot of pain came from them constantly talking down on each other and constantly talking shit, and you didn't know where to look and you didn't know who to believe. And especially when your own family are attacking each other and putting each other down and pretty much outright abusing each other, verbally at least, and there was some physical abuse, but obviously I won't talk about that too much. But, and you guys, us kids, were constantly just in the middle of it. So that caused a lot of pain in terms of you didn't know who to trust. You had no idea who was telling the truth. And I just had no clue who to believe. And us kids were sort of just being used as pawns, as leverage, I guess. And that hurt a lot because, you know, there was times where I wasn't allowed to go see my dad, and I missed out on going to see him a few times. And like, to be put in that scenario obviously hurt, to not be allowed to go see your dad. And Mum always obviously says it's for the right reasons, but, you know, it's something that played a lot of part in my pain and in university, and not quite knowing why it all unfolded like that. And I still don't know, but I came to the point now where I don't really care too much, because I understand that they were just attacking each other, and that's a them choice. And if they want to choose to do that over prioritizing us, then that's fine. That's a them problem. They just wanted the higher status. They wanted the higher up. So I come to terms with that now for sure. And yeah, I mean, obviously it's confusing, and it was sort of tough to try comprehend. But like I said, if there's a lesson, it's that if you control what you can control and what you do, and you don't put the blame on other people, then you are in control of your own mind and your situation. And I get it feels tough. Like if you're going through something right now, you probably think it's the worst thing in the world, but I'm telling you, it is your story. Every single thing you went through is your story. Every single thing you've been through is your absolute story. And your story can help other people. So just know, if you feel pain right now, that you can let it define you, or you can use it as fucking fuel to get out of the situation you're in. Because like I said, I seen the abuse. Most of it verbal, a couple of physical abuses. But, I mean, that hurt to watch. It wasn't me, but that hurt to watch that happen to someone. And at the end of the day, it's not right, but I'm just over it now, because the more energy you give someone else, the more you let it take control over you, the more it's going to define you, and the more it's going to hurt you in the end. So, although I don't agree with it, I've come to terms with the fact that it is what it is now, and it was a long time ago, and there's no point in letting it define who I am now. I can use it as fuel, and I can remember it, and I can fucking use it as fuel. But anything, like I said, you're going through, it is your fuel. Anything you're going through, you can use it towards your purpose, towards your bigger goal. And honestly, after seeing all the abuse and going through everything I did as a kid, like the divorce and like the family things, it sort of led me to a point where, well, when we were 9 and we moved, I got put in an all-girls school, pretty much. There was like 6 dudes in my year. And coming from, I was a pretty competitive kid. So, like, I was fucking good at sport. One of the sort of top guys you would think you would class me as when I was like in primary school and whatnot. So I've always had that competitive drive, that competitive nature. I'm only telling you this because I think that thing that you know you were good at as a kid, but you've sort of now come to realize, or come to think that you can't do that thing, that's probably, there's something in there that's probably your purpose in life. You liked it as a kid for a reason, and somehow it's been taken away from you over your life. And that's why I'm not a big fan of the school system. In fact, I don't like the school system at all. You're completely funneled into university, and yeah, it's fucking bullshit. But, you know, you go through stages in your life, and right now I'm definitely in a lonely stage of, I've sort of don't hang out with any of my old friends, and it's nothing to do with them. Like, if you're watching this, I love you guys. Nothing to do with you guys. It's just we're at different stages of our lives where I think, yeah, we're just chasing different dreams. So if you guys see this, then I love you guys, but I think it's okay to go through a lonely chapter if you're going through a lonely chapter, because if you want something bad enough, you'll get it and you'll find a way. But after going to the all-girls school I got kicked out of, well, I got asked to leave, so I technically didn't get kicked out of because I was playing up, I was being a dick. And then after that, went into another school and that was all good, and then went to high school, which was absolutely fine. I was a fucking excellence merit endorsed student, which for you Americans means like A-, B+ sort of area, territory. And, you know, pretty good at sports still, didn't really do anything wrong. I was a pretty good kid, to be honest, and then had a knee surgery that hurt a lot because I couldn't play in the sport that I loved. Couldn't play rugby, and then, yeah, I was just didn't make the team that I wanted because of the injury, and honestly, I probably wasn't good enough. But then came along university where I decided I'd take a year off rugby to really focus, and I decided really late to go to university. Like, literally like 3 weeks before. Chucked myself in a hole and away we went, but decided to take a year off rugby to really focus on trying to get into physio because I decided I really wanted to be a physio. Which inevitably I didn't get into. I missed out by 2%, I think it was, unfortunately. And this is where I think it all started to go wrong, because the first year I broke up with my missus because I wanted to focus on it and gave up rugby and then didn't get in. So gave up rugby, broke up with my missus at the time because I wanted to try get into physio, didn't get into physio. So I sort of lost all three things at once. And then ended up getting the missus back, which I'm not with anymore. We broke up because I was a fucking idiot during uni, obviously. But I think that's where it all sort of started to go wrong. Like, I didn't drink that much or anything in first year, but the start of second year at university in 2020 went flatting, and I stayed at university because I thought I had to be there, because I thought I didn't want to let my parents down, and I didn't want to let my family down, because my grandparents, he's a lawyer, and I really didn't want to let them down, and I thought I had to get a degree, and I thought it was the only option in life, and I really had been controlled and funneled into thinking that that's what life was about, that you had to go to university and you had to get a degree to be successful. And truth be told, it's a load of fucking crap. It's the biggest fucking con in the world. It's so goddamn bullshit. And I don't blame my parents or my grandparents for that, because at the end of the day, they were just taught that. They were taught that by their parents and their teachers and everyone in between. So I don't blame them for that at all anymore. But I was there thinking I had to do a degree, so I picked another one and just didn't enjoy it at all. And then COVID happened, and I got on the piss with a mate for literally 5 weeks straight. Like 5 weeks, got on the piss because it was fucking fun. Didn't have to go to class. Didn't have to go do any assignments. It was all online. You know, we literally just got on the piss for like 5 weeks straight. Shit you not. And yeah, I think that's where it all started to go downhill, because I started to lose touch with my dad and my mum, and started to lose those relationships a lot, and really did start to like really let go of myself, really let control of myself go. I was eating shit food all the time. My bad habits, I would just be on my phone, and if I wasn't on my phone, I'd be drinking. And if I wasn't drinking, then I'd be playing fucking FIFA on the TV literally for like 6 or 8 hours a day, in between feeds, in between piss-ups. Now, I wasn't doing drugs at the time, but this is where I really started to get on the piss a lot, like 2 or 3 times a week sort of vibe. And I think it was because I was just chasing temporary fulfillment. I fell into the trap of bad habit. I fell into the trap of the mindset where, well, because I don't have to go to class, uni will be easy, it's all online. And it was easy, but I still fucking failed. I was so dumb. So stupid. Like, I don't even know how I failed, but I managed to. Because I was drinking and doing drugs and chasing temporary fulfillment through shitty foods, and honestly, my mindset was just, let's get on the piss. Let's drink. Let's eat shit food. And let's play FIFA. That was all I wanted to do. And then eventually I got the nickname Grog. My mates called me Grog because, you know, it was pretty fitting. I was on the piss pretty much 3 times a week. I was a walking fucking pisshead. But it really does show that bad habits do compound into other bad habits. Like, I'm a massive believer that if it's how you do one thing is how you do everything, which is why now I don't do any of it. Why now I don't smoke. Why now I don't vape. Why now I don't drink. Why now I won't do drugs. Because I know it's a massive plethora effect of a domino effect. Because I know how it makes you feel, and I know as soon as you give into one thing, you will give into everything eventually. It just takes time. And that's the fucking good thing to know, because you can do it the other way. And that's what I'm going to get to eventually. But after the second year, I got warned by university that they were going to kick me out. I got bad relationships with my mum. Honestly, all I lived for was the boys. Me and the missus at the time were just on the brink of breaking up all the time, because I'd promise her stuff and then I wouldn't fulfill it. And it was just a terrible cycle to be in. And don't get me wrong, I had a lot of fun. And drinking is a lot of fun. And I'm not going to sit here and lie to you and say it's not. But I think anything that takes away control of an action that you can make is a fucking stupid thing to do. And that's what I've come to terms with. That's the underlying message of this whole thing. But from there, my third year, I was like, right, I need to lock in. I need to nail it in. That summer, I was like, okay, this year I'm going to lock it in. I'm going to get it done. And this is going to be my year. And then we have a thing called Flow and O Week, which is just 2 weeks of pissing up, which obviously we all did as a flat and all my mates and whatnot. And it was awesome. It was good fun. I'm not going to lie to you. It was fucking good fun. I had a great time, but it's sort of the dumbest way to ever go. And like, it's the first 2 weeks before you start uni for the year. And you can see, go in for pissing up for 2 weeks. And then that just sets you up for the year. That sets the standard, and it's pretty stupid now that I look back on it. But that year, drugs really started to take over my life. I'd do drugs literally every time I went out. There wouldn't be a time where I wouldn't be trying to get on the bag. MDMA mostly, or there was a lot of bath salts back then as well. But this is where the drugs really started to take in, where they started to come into play, where the drinking wasn't quite hitting that high quite well enough, where I sort of gave in to that, because in the second year I didn't do any drugs, but in the third year it really started to take its toll, because me and the missus weren't getting on, because I was being a freaking idiot, and then I was overweight and I fucking hated myself. I literally hated the way I looked. I was eating such bad foods, and for like 3 days of the week I'd be on the piss, I'd be getting hammered, trying to chase temporary fulfillment, and then that would just make me extremely lazy, extremely unmotivated during the week to go to class. I'd be messaging lecturers saying I couldn't make it because of this reason, this reason, this reason. I was blaming everyone else but my fucking self, and that is how I really got there. That is the one thing that led me down the darkest path, was blaming everyone else but myself. That's what took me to the dark areas, was blaming everyone else but myself. I failed for this reason, for that reason. There was always a fucking reason as to why I didn't be successful, or why I wouldn't pass, or why I'd get on the piss. There'd always be a reason why I should get on the piss, and there was always a reason why I shouldn't go to class. And it's because I didn't enjoy my degree, so I was chasing temporary fulfillment. So if you're not enjoying something, if you don't enjoy work, fucking quit, because it's going to lead you down a bad path. Because if you don't enjoy something, then eventually you're going to try to find fulfillment in something else. And you can find fulfillment in doing good things and building good habits, but you have to figure out the things that first are making you unfulfilled, that are unenjoyable. Because as soon as you do that, and if you don't do that, then you will try find fulfillment in shitty, unearned dopamine habits, like I did, like the drinking, like the bad foods, like the video games, like FIFA, like scrolling on my fucking phone. I would spend hours just watching Netflix, binge watching series, because I was always hungover in bed. I was so lazy, got so out of shape, I was so unfit, so ugly. Literally, I would let my girlfriend down every single time. I'd say, nah, this weekend I'll take it off, and I'd give in every single goddamn time. And if you're the mate that says, come get on the piss with me, to your other mates, cut it out. Because even though it is their decision, at the end of the day, it doesn't help when all your mates tell you to get on the piss. At the end of the day, it is your decision, but a message is, from me, is, if you really were a good mate, why would you want to take control away from someone? Control of their mind. Why would you influence them into controlling their mind, into lack of control of their mind? But towards the back end of third year, it just carried on. And then into third year, going into fourth year, that summer, I got told by university I was getting kicked out. So my third year going into my fourth year, 21 going into 22. And so I begged them to let me back in, and they did. Luckily. Well, it felt lucky at the time. So I was like, fuck, I need to lock in. I need to get this locked in. And the start of fourth year, same thing. Got on the piss again. Fell straight back into the same habits after working all summer. Drunk all summer. Literally was in the worst place of my life, and I didn't really realize it. Then my girlfriend at the time, she broke up with me because she'd had enough by that point. And I didn't even care, because all I wanted to do was just get on the piss and get on the bag. and just chase unearned dopamine, because I had no relationships with my parents, because my mum's an alcoholic, and my dad, well, I used to send him videos all the time of me getting on the piss and on the bag. And God, looking back at myself, I hate myself and resent myself for that. But the fact of the matter is, I'm so grateful for everything I went through and everything I did, because it led me to now where it allows me to resonate with you and help you through the problems that you're going through. Because it's not worth it. It's not worth it giving up your girlfriend. Because although I wouldn't date her now, she was a great girl, way out of my league, like 10 out of 10, banging. Great girl, but I treated her like shit. I was such a bad person to her. Like, I used to just promise her the world and then do fucking nothing. And I hate myself for it, but it taught me a lot. And it taught me a lesson, and as long as I learn and get better in the next one. And if you're a girl watching this, well, obviously I'm not the pick of the lot, but you know, that start of fourth year was getting pretty rock bottom. I was doing a degree knowing I needed to pass, but I was doing nothing about it. I was playing FIFA all the time, and I was drinking. I just lost my girlfriend, and all I cared about was getting on the piss. I was getting on the piss Thursday night, then Friday night before my rugby games, and then being hungover at my rugby games, and then playing rugby, and then getting on the piss on the Saturday, and then the Sunday for most of the day. And then from the Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, I'd be in bed until Wednesday morning. And then I'd get up, eat some food. Wednesday night, I'd start to feel all right. Thursday, I'd be like, oh, fuck yeah, it's Thursday again. And I'd repeat the same cycle, and found my way $35,000 in debt with no degree, no warning. I mean, they gave me a warning. They gave me 2 warnings of kicking me out, and then they kicked me out because I failed again. I failed again. All my papers, I think, in my 4th year. You'd think I would have learned. And then after I left 4th year, I went and worked for my stepbrother, which was fine. It was good. But I was still living for the weekend. Every single solitary weekend was the exact same. I'd go away for work, which is an hour and a half away from Dunedin, live there for the week, fiend for the weekend, then go back to Dunedin, get on the piss on the weekend, and then go back down and work during the week. But every single Monday or Sunday night, I'd message my boss and be like, I don't want to come to work. Fuck this. You know, my life sucks and all this. And then one day he called me out on my shit, and he was like, well, what are you doing on the weekends that you shouldn't be doing? Like, are you doing shit you know you shouldn't be doing? And the honest answer was yes. Yes, every single weekend. And at this point, I didn't really want to know what I wanted to do with my life, or at this point I was pretty rock bottom in terms of no idea where I was headed in life. I thought maybe I wanted to be successful at something, but my actions were not aligning with the man who I wanted to be. Which led me down to the end of March, the beginning of April 2023, where I eventually got done drink driving on the way back from a rugby game, the day after a piss-up. So the day after the game, we played away from home, and we got on the piss that night, and then the next morning woke up, had a couple beers, and then after that jumped in the car to drive about 2 hours home. But I had a box of piss sitting in the car, so I drank it on the way fucking home, well, on a Sunday, on my own, driving. What an idiot. And then the lady called the cops on me. I got pulled over. I got charged with drink driving. But that wasn't even the fucking end of it, because I tried to blame the lady. I tried to blame the cop for pulling me over, for drinking and driving, for swerving and endangering other people. And I tried to blame them for me doing that. How stupid is that? How dumb is that? And you'd think that would be enough. But no, it wasn't enough. Because 6 days later, I went back to Dunedin and told my boss that I had an appointment. Then I got on the piss on the Friday night before a rugby game. Then the next day, drove back down, was late, didn't warm up properly, and then I didn't play. Then I hadn't warmed up, like I said. And then I played and I dislocated my fucking knee. And I don't know how well you can see it now, but that scar is from my knee surgery that I had earlier this year that also needs reoperated again because I was an idiot and I drank the night before a game, causing me to dislocate that, causing me to still have pain and still need surgeries now because of a choice I made a year and a half ago. That is how badly choices can compound, and that is how long they can compound. But in a lot of ways, I'm grateful that that happened within 6 days of the drink driving. Because if it didn't, I probably would have kept drinking as often. But I did still keep drinking after that happened. I did still keep going out. I did still keep giving into my shitty goddamn habits. I did still keep going out. I went to Australia to get away from it. I ran away for like a month because I couldn't drive, lost my license. That happened, and I went to Australia to get away from it. And then when I came back, the first thing I did that weekend was get on the goddamn piss again. Went on a 3-day bender, blew my interlock, like I was allowed to drive on a special license where I had to blow into a thing. I violated that the first weekend I was back, the first week I had that license. And then I was late for work like 3 or 4 days in a row. I pissed myself, and then eventually it just snapped. The come down after a piss up in Dunedin that weekend, it fucking sucked. And that Tuesday, the 28th of June, 2023, was the day I decided I'd just do 75 hard and rip it because I'd wanted to do it for a long time. But that is a lesson as well. If you want to do something, if you want to, anything it is that you're thinking that you're capable of doing, you are capable. Because I didn't do it for so long because I was scared of failing. I was so scared of fucking failing. I was so scared of not being that mate anymore because it was my whole personality. I was so scared my mates would judge me that I wasn't on the piss anymore, that I wasn't that guy anymore, that I wasn't Grog anymore, because Grog was my whole personality. Literally all of it. But I was so fucking scared to fail because I didn't want to lose my friends, and I was so scared of criticism. And I was so scared of losing the one thing I was good at that time, which was getting on the piss and getting on the bag, because I was phenomenal at it. But that led me down to doing 75 hard, which was probably alongside with actually getting done drink driving and doing my knee. I know those are negatives, but they're also the two greatest decisions of my life because they led me to the path where I made the decision to do 75 hard, which is probably the one greatest decision in my life. The one instant decision that I posted on Facebook and said, hey guys, I'm going to do Dry July. And that same day committed to doing 75 hard and ripped into it. And 3 months later, I hadn't touched a drink of alcohol, had done 75 hard. And if you don't know what it is, it's 2 workouts a day. One being outside, 4 liters of water, follow a diet. I included cold shower and read 10 pages of book, which is also what led me down the self-development, because I started reading books, and the first book I read was Rich Dad, Poor Dad. And it's a very common business book, as you know, but it started me down this massive path of self-development And it's all just been a part of it, which has led me to now. Because over the last year and a half, it's been an absolute freaking battle trying to rewire and reprogram and understand why everything happened the way it did, why I chose to do the things I did. Because it's freaking hard to build trust back with yourself once you've failed uni, once you've drunk that much, once you tore your knee because of shitty decisions you made. But if I can do it, it is possible that you can do it. Because I can assure you, I'm probably there with you, or I was there with you. I've been where you've been in terms of the pain you're feeling, because I know how bad it fucking hurts. I know it. I feel it. Everything I've been through, the highs, the lows. But over this past year and a half, I've tried everything. I've tried all the different morning routines, every single thing you can think of. I've competed now in 2 bodybuilding shows, but I didn't do them to look good. I did them to rediscipline the mind. And a lot of people don't understand that, especially my mother. She's like, oh, well, you can just have this little snack. It's like, yeah, that little snack would not do anything to my physique. But that's not what it's about. That's not why I'm doing it. Because I had to reprogram. I had to retrain this through the relentless pursuit of each and every day, consistently building habits to try and get better. Because after 75 hard, I slipped up. I got on the piss a few times. I would say I slipped up. Yeah, I definitely slipped up. Got on the bag. Got on the piss with my mate in Australia because I moved there for 3 months. But that's also where it all changed as well, because I was working in a tractor. So I was pretty bored all day. So I just started ripping podcasts, wondering how, because I was like, damn, surely it doesn't take this long to earn this much money. So I was like, that's where the trying to figure out investing and making money and starting down that road started to happen. And then I worked in Aussie, for 3 months, and that was a freaking cool experience. But at the end of the day, this is when I really started to realize I want more out of life. I want to be successful. And when I say successful, please class your own success as your own success, because my success comes from the fact that I get to change lives, that I get to help you change your life, or I get to help men change their lives, because that's my purpose in life. And I know that now, and I've found that over the past year and a half of relentlessly trying to build my mindset back through literally, I was working 12 or 14 hours a day on that tractor, and at least 10 of them I'd be listening to a podcast, and I'd be trying to rewire and reprogram and understand the world from a different perspective. And then after that, moved back to New Zealand, where I got my surgery this year, February 2024, on my knee. And this is when I was like, leading up to this, I was like, I'm going to learn as much as I can. And then when I get the knee surgery and I'm in recovery and I won't have to be working, that's when I'll start these businesses. That's when I'll start these online businesses. So I bought an SMMA course, failed at that because I gave up too early. And then I bought another course, failed at that because honestly it ended up being a bit of a pyramid scheme and I didn't want any part of it. It's on my TikTok, you can go have a look. I won't even lie to you, I made a mistake, I fucked up in that regard, 100%. But especially these last 8 months, the opportunity I have had because of that, because of my knee, this is where a good opportunity can come from any bad moment. Because, this sucks. And this happened because of the fucking stupid decision I made to drink. And it's still annoying and it needs surgery again. But it's given me the time off work and it's given me the chance to rewire and reprogram and rebuild. Because I've done all the workouts. I've done all the different workout plans. I've tried all the different morning routines, and I've done all the different methods and everything you can think of. I gained fat back, I put on muscle, I cut back down, I lost 20 kgs of fat in the last 3 months, and I've done it now. I've done this whole self-development thing, and it comes down to 5 main things, and it comes down, number 1 is your mindset, number 2 is your discipline, number 3 is your nutrition, and number 4 is your training, and number 5, you get your self-belief back, because your mind sets you up for winning for yourself, for getting those small wins and stacking them each and every single day. Because the more consistent you are, the more disciplined you are to building trust back with your own word. That's where the true fucking war is won. Because you got to win the battle of your own mind. And you only do that by taking action each and every single day towards a specific goal that you've set for yourself for you. And the reason you set it for yourself is because you're so programmed now to think for other people, to work for your boss, to be controlled in what you do. But the reason that I came up with this method that I've named after myself, because that's how much self-belief back I have back, the McGregor method, I did it through setting a goal for myself, which was, the first one was 75 hard, and then each and every day I controlled inputs towards that goal, which gave me my new daily habits to work towards, which allowed me to get small wins, which also reframes your mindset, which reshifts your mindset into realizing that more and more is capable. And once you've got these first two, then you realize that you want to fuel yourself with good food, because your nutrition is fucking important. It's massively important, because there's a fact that 95% of your brain power actually comes from your stomach. It actually comes from here. And what you fuel yourself with actually comes up with your ideas here. So this method that I've made, and I only call it a method because it's just what I came up with the McGregor method, is to control your inputs each and every day through setting 5 daily habits that align with a bigger goal that you set for yourself. And the reason you set it for yourself is so that it rewires your mindset to do things for yourself, to make you dream again, not anyone else, not for anyone else's vision. Because we are so programmed to think, or to be such robots controlled by our phones. And it's a load of fucking crap. Because I only know this because I had to unwire, I had to rewire, and I had to push, and I had to push, and I had to push. There was countless hours of tears. There was countless hours of wondering if it's worth it. There's countless hours of just wanting to go get back on the piss and want to hang around with my mates. And it's just been such a massive unprogramming and reprogramming. But you don't have to give up the foods you love. You just have to understand how they work. That's all. I'm not telling you not to eat the foods you enjoy, but you just have to understand how they work. And the overindulgence of food is one of the main things that it's keeping you exactly where you are. It's keeping you from achieving the thing that you want to achieve. Because how you do one thing is how you do frickin' everything. And I learned this the hard way, because I tried to drink every now and again, and it just doesn't work. It might work for some people, but it didn't work for me. So I've failed my way out of university. I've seen abuse. I've been through it. My mum's an alcoholic. We don't have the best relationship. I've been through it. And you know, it's a funny feeling now, because I'm 24 and I actually live on mum's couch, and I don't even care that I'm admitting that, because it's so much better than where I was. And the reason that I'm actually doing it is because, 1, I want to help her, and number 2, I'm living there on the couch to save money, to reinvest in myself, because that's how much self-belief I built back over this past year and a half, to reinvest so that I can give back, so that I can inspire positive change. And like I said at the start, when I say change, I don't mean change. I mean the fact that you've already got it within you. You've already got it within you. You just have to unlock it and find it. Because you have it. That thing you want, that thing you see in other people. I can assure you, you fucking have it. I'm not joking. That thing you see, that you want, that you desire, it is in you. You can see it in other people. What you can see in other people, you have in your fucking self. I have no doubt about it. We just have to unlock it. You just have to unlock it. And the way you unlock it, and that's why I come up with this method, is the fact that if you set a goal for yourself that you know you want to do, that thing you're thinking of right now that you want to do, you can do it. Set yourself that goal. The only way you get to it is by controlling the inputs each and every single day towards that goal. And that sets your new daily habits. And the reason you have that goal is because this allows you to reframe your mindset and reshape to think for yourself, not for anyone else, not for your boss, not for your parents, not for anyone else, not for your friends. And that way your daily habits are now taking over your old daily habits and you're stacking small wins each and every goddamn day. And that's how you win. There is no secret. The only way I got this physique, going through bodybuilding prep, on days when I didn't want to get out of bed, I was working out 5.5 hours a day to get down lean enough for that bodybuilding show. I was literally doing 20,000 steps a day. I was literally doing an hour and a half on the bike on top of that a day while eating 1,600 calories. Do you think each and every day me thinking of the outcome, thinking of that end goal would help? No. All I had to do each and every single day was the first step, which was to get out of fucking bed and start walking. That way, I'd get the first thing done. And then the next step was get into the car and drive to the gym. And that way, I won. As soon as I got in that car, I won because that meant that I was going to the gym. That is how you get a new cue. Cue, reward. Cue, response, reward. I don't think I got that right, but the habit loop. Cue, craving, response, reward. See, the cue of your bad habits start the night before. So if you don't wake up in the morning, if you don't wake up in the morning at your alarm, it's probably because you scrolled on your phone the night before. So you've got to understand that you didn't miss your alarm in the morning. You missed it the night before. Right? And the reason you missed it is probably something before that. So you might have had overate dessert and that made you extremely comfortable. Right? And then because you overate dessert and now you're extremely comfortable, now you're scrolling on your phone. And now you end up over scrolling on your phone because you're addicted to the fucking thing. And then you realize it's 11:30 at night. And then you realize in the morning when you wake up, you did the same thing again. You hit snooze on your alarm. And that caused you to be late for work. And that caused you to feel anxious in the morning because you broke a promise for yourself straight away in the morning. And I'm sorry all this sounds extremely harsh, but I'm only saying it like this because it's exactly what I used to do. I used to scroll on my phone, overindulge in fatty, shitty food, not train, not work out, and then that night be lying in bed thinking, fuck, I need to lock in tomorrow, miss my alarm, start the same day, same thing the next day and do it again. But that's what you need to understand, is that you can control these cues, these habits, this mindset by simply literally use this method. I'm giving it away. Literally, it's what got me from there, from where I was, literally drunken, depressed, addicted fucking kid. The McGregor method got me from where I was to where I am today through setting an outcome-based goal and setting 5 input-based goals that align with that bigger goal, which reset your daily habits to take over your old ones while resetting your mind to thinking for yourself. That is it. I'm going to give you my morning routine as well that I do each and every single day, because it also helps align with that goal. It takes like 20 minutes. Gets you ripped and ready for the day. But first things first, as soon as you wake up, do not hit snooze. I hit my alarm clock. I had bought an actual alarm clock so I don't go on my phone. But the whole point of this morning routine is to not consume a thing. So as soon as your alarm goes off, you don't consume anything. You get up, you go outside, 50 push-ups. Why? Blood flow. That's it. And then straight after those 50 push-ups, you walk and you set an intention for the day. You set something that you want to work towards, that you want to achieve that day. And from there, 10 minutes, that's it. That's the walk. You come home, I have a cold shower. You can replace it with whatever you want, but that is purely for discipline. And from there, you journal. That aligns the goal you set for yourself on your walk to re-emphasize it through journaling. And journaling is just great to dump your thoughts. Because at the end of the day, you need to understand that the underlying message of all of this whole thing, every single thing that I've been through, every single pain, every single thing that I've learned, the bodybuilding shows, building my own business now, dropped all my bad vices. I do scroll sometimes, so I'm not going to lie to you on that one. I do scroll occasionally. I probably spend a little bit too long on Instagram every now and again because I'm human, and yeah. But honestly, now I have built my self-belief back through relentless pursuit of rebuilding my mindset and rewiring my mindset. And I want you to know that it's absolutely possible that you can do it. I want to inspire you, and I hope I have inspired you through the relentless pursuit of telling my story, because your story is your success. Your pain right now, what you got, your story is your success. Your pain right now that you're going through will be your success if you let it be. You can let it control you, or you can realize that it's your fucking fault. Put the blame on yourself, take the control back, and do something about it by setting an outcome-based goal, setting 5 input-based goals that work towards that goal each and every single day, to reframe your habits, to rewire your mindset to thinking back for yourself. And by doing a simple 20-minute morning routine, I can guarantee you, you will have a new mindset within 120 days. You will literally feel reborn. Because that's how I got here, through trial and error over the past year and a half, through everything I ever went through. It was the underlying theme was that you only can control what you can control. And this year and a half has been brutal, just as brutal as going through watching the abuse as a kid. Through watching my mum be an alcoholic and watching that happen. Through not understanding exactly why everything happened. Through not understanding why I put myself through that thing until I've been through this year and a half, which is to now inspire you for positive change. Because I know what it feels like, and I've been in your fucking shoes. And I know how you feel, and I know you feel trapped. But your story your story is your success. You can let it control you, or you can let it fucking fuel you to get out of it. And I hope this has inspired you. And I hope this came across like I meant it to. Because I've been through a lot of pain. And I don't know how well I described that pain today. But I'll keep telling my story. I'll break it up into smaller parts. And I'll keep telling it. And I'll keep trying to inspire. And I'll keep learning new things. And as soon as I learn them, I will be sharing them. Because I'm not done. I'm not perfect. But I'm fucking way better. And that's the goal. I've done the self-development. The new goal. And I mean this wholeheartedly. I want to be successful, but I want to be successful through helping men change their lives and see life from a different perspective. Because I can assure you, it is possible. You have it in you. That thing you want, that thing you know you want, you can get. It just comes down to mindset, discipline, nutrition, training, and self-belief. You do the first four, you get your self-belief back. I guarantee you that. Look at me. I just told my whole story and I'm on YouTube explaining my whole story. That is how much I believe in the system, in the McGregor method that I have built. That is how much I believe. Because just a year and a half ago, I was a drunk, fucking lost kid with no purpose, may as well have been good as dead. Done drink driving, doing drugs all the time, and now just a simple year and a half later, I have my own method. I built my own method through the relentless pursuit of rewiring my mindset and the hope that telling my story inspires you to do the same and that you can make positive change. Because I love you, brother, and I thank you for watching this. If you did watch all the way through, I'm sorry if it was a lot, and I'm sorry if I yelled at you, but I was really, really narrowing down on my younger self and how much of a fucking idiot I was. And I'm not calling you an idiot, but I kind of am at the same time. But either way, I love you, brother, and you are so capable of so much more. And thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, comment, subscribe. I will put the McGregor method in the bio. And if you need help, please reach out. Please do reach out, because at the end of the day, this is something I'd happily do for free. This is my actual purpose, is to help men re-find and rewire their minds, because it's something I would work on for free, because I know how much it did for me. So I love you, brother. If you watched all the way through, thank you, and it means a lot.